Hello internet friends, in this video I'm going to talk about what I see as two very important updates for Star Wars Galaxies Legends. They're not as flashy as something like the Muted Jedi theme park that is coming to the server or the new planet Bespin, but for a long time Star Wars Galaxies fan, these are very, very significant. It seemed that way to me anyway. Because Legends is currently my favourite MMO and I don't see that changing in the foreseeable future, I get this intense feeling of frustration that people don't talk about this more. I feel like this stuff is really important, and it's just because I've played Galaxy since the beginning and these kind of changes seem important to me. So I just want to talk about them. The first update is the Avatar platform Hardmode. This is a tougher version of the Rage of the Wookiees endgame instance where you infiltrate a Trandoshan space station. This is important for reasons beyond the fact that players at endgame now have something else to do. That's great, but it also marks an important precedent for repurposing existing content and bringing it into line with the endgame for the NGE version of Star Wars Galaxies, which Legends is. This is something that was never done in live, and the Avatar platform, it stopped being endgame content once the heroics were added to the game. We were talking about this very thing in chat just the other day, that there is so much excellent content in Galaxies, but it's obsolete beyond a certain level, or there are faster ways to gain XP now and stuff like that. Stuff like that. Like Kashyyyk in particular, it's such a cool planet, it's packed with content and people don't visit it because it seems like old content. I'm really excited about this new instance, and because of what it potentially indicates that might be the future for Legends, which is updating this older content. I hope we see more of it, but this is a fantastic new addition, the Avatar platform. The next piece of news I wanted to talk about was to do with PvP. I think it's the case that Legends now has all the Galactic Civil War like PvP stuff from the live game is now there in Legends, which begs the question how PvP might evolve in the future for Legends and Galaxies. I'm not a huge PvPer, but given the storied history of PvP in Galaxies from the early TEF system, that's a temporary enemy flag system, right through to structured space PvP that was added very late on. It's continued to change throughout the course of the lifespan of Galaxies. So the new these are new PvP flashpoints that have just been added. They're basically, it's a lot like queuing for an arena in other PvP MMOs. You're ported to a disputed part of the galaxy and you fight for control. The location cycles every 45 minutes. It's a way to focus PvP in specific areas and give the kind of instant gratification that like modern players are more used to. You can do this like, for instance, in Star Wars Tour, you click PvP arena and you queue for the arena. I don't think it's a queue actually for these flashpoints. You just go there straight away. You can jump on and be in combat straight away. There are some players who will lament the lack of organic PvP that happened with the temporary enemy flag system back in the day, but and I do get that it allows PvP to erupt unexpectedly anywhere in the galaxy, unlike something like this that brings it into a specific area. However, my experience of the TEF system was not that great ultimately. I found those instances of erupting PvP kind of happen so infrequently. It was also very difficult to understand the rules for that system and led to a lot of griefing. It's a system that seemed to me generally led to roaming PvPers looking for people who are ill prepared for PvP to kind of gank or by some quirk of the rules to get the drop on them. I don't find that particularly interesting, so I actually kind of like the more structured PvP of the later game. I think ultimately, I wouldn't have said that at one time, I think that now, where everyone who is involved gets ready in advance, they fight against similarly well prepared players, and it seems much fairer and just better. You get a better sense of it. There are certain people who just like ganking people, but I think you can be more proud of your success if you're going up against people who are actually prepared to fight. So the PvP Flashpoint, it's a very interesting development and for Legends, and I'm interested to see how the player base responds to them, because it is, like I say, it's an evolution of PvP beyond the live game, and that's kind of what I joined Legends for, and it's kind of happening now. It's a really important updates to me. Another thing I wanted to highlight is the fact that they're a whole new bunch of rewards for these flashpoints for the Avatar platform as well, but for these flashpoints that were teased actually last year. So some of the armor from the new movies are in the game, so you can look like the rebels from Rogue One or one of the Shore Troopers, for instance. Legends team is heavily pimping the flashpoint at the minute, so you can only get this stuff with special PvP flashpoint tokens that are different from the Galactic Civil War tokens. So I'm not sure if that will continue. I suppose it depends how popular the flashpoints are. They have their own specific currency for this new gear, but we'll see. We'll see if that continues to be the case. Like I say, this is stuff, it just keeps trickling in Legends, but there are these major updates and developments for the game that we need to make a lot more noise about them if we can in our own way. So shout about them in whatever way you can, because they're great additions. So I've said my piece. That's the stuff, that's the news that seems really important to me. I did want to roll into this update what I've been doing in the game. I like to do these updates every now and again. It seemed like a good idea, so do some news and also do some updates of what I've been up to. I've been working hard with my main crafter to make food and clothing attachments, but mainly to fund the various activities. I did a video last week, I'll link it here, about making money, because the more I play Galaxies, the more it seems to me like my time is split between doing the things I do for enjoyment and doing the things I need to make money in order to buy the things that I enjoy. Maybe, like I say, maybe it is just me, but I would prefer to buy the components for my ship, the jewelry sets that you get from heroics. I would prefer to buy them than to grind for them. So I tend to focus on making money so I can just buy those things, and that's my way of grinding rather than doing heroics over and over and over again. I just prefer to make money. So that's what I've been doing with my chef reverse engineer. I'm also spending more time away from my Jedi, learning a new class, namely the medic. That's been great fun so far, actually. I've got the striker jewelry set, so I can do these full duration buffs for people, and it gives me a character who's useful in a group. It also means, because he's an Imperial, I can start collecting Imperial uniforms and whatnot, and properly RP a member of the Imperial, either a Stormtrooper or a TIE pilot or whatever. It's something I've wanted to do since I joined Legends. I just haven't got round to it yet, so I can start RPing. I like to RP Stormtrooper better than RP a Rebel. Weirdly, a Stormtrooper just gives you a set of RP criteria, so I know how a Stormtrooper is supposed to behave, and I can kind of role play that once I've got all the gear. So that's the other thing. It gives me a goal. Like, my goal is to get the uniforms, get the gear. In terms of YouTube, I'm aware at the minute that all I'm doing on the channel is Galaxies Legends, and I probably need to do some other stuff, but just for variation and to keep things interesting. The problem is you've got to do what people are interested in, and the vast majority of people at the minute are here to watch Star Wars Galaxies Legends, but you can't just do that one thing on the channel, just do one game. It's a recipe for disaster ultimately on YouTube. You need to vary certain things. So I've been thinking about other Star Wars themed content I can do. That seems to be the link, doesn't it? If people are here for this classic Star Wars game, what other Star Wars stuff might they be interesting? So I've been brainstorming what else I can do. I've been thinking maybe I could do like commentaries, reviews of favourite movies. I don't want to do critiques. I don't really want to spend my time telling people what's wrong with something, but stuff that I'm really enjoying I could talk about. So I thought I'll do like commentaries, reviews of The Mandalorian. I've really been enjoying that series, just give my thoughts about it, and people can kind of watch along. Lots of people are doing that on YouTube now. I could do that, and I've also been thinking about like linking in Star Wars with painting and modeling, because I really like doing that, and I think it's a fun thing to put on YouTube. I like watching those videos of people painting and playing games, board games, war games and stuff. So then there's this game called Star Wars Legion, which has all the miniatures which I could paint. The problem is I haven't got really very much space to set up games, and I don't know anyone locally who's playing it, so I would have to I could just do the painting and modeling of the Star Wars. If you don't know, Legion is just, it's a miniatures, it's basically Warhammer, Star Wars Warhammer, and I could paint those up. but I'd have to do like the actual battle reports for it if I were to do it in Tabletop Simulator. There's a mod to play it in Tabletop Simulator, so I mean I could do stuff like that. I've got lots of ideas, let me know if you have any thoughts or ideas for the channel. Currently it's growing faster than it ever has. It's kind of maintaining like 250 subs a month, which for me is very good. So my soft target is just to try and maintain that and keep that going. If you get a chance, please share the channel. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, with friends and so on. It's really hard to get the word out about what you're doing, so if you guys can help in any way by spreading, word of mouth is always the best way to do this kind of stuff, so just let people know about the channel. Alright, I'll sign off for now. Make sure you check out the new Flashpoints and the Avatar Station. Exciting times in Legends, and also hopefully exciting times for my channel as well, as I think about stuff to do. So I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching and listening. Sub and like and all that garbage. I'll see you later. Bye.